Welcome, everybody, to the MCC Pride 2022 pre-show. My name is Steinbulf.
My name is Mystery, and the rest was never known.
My name is Ultrasheeplord, and the early bird may get the worm, but the second mouse gets the cheese.
And I'm Lockie.
We're going to start off by getting into each team and their keys to victory. Our first team, the Red Rabbits, includes Dream, George, Carl, and Foolish. This is definitely a scary team in Sands of Time and Parkour Tag, and they are generally pretty good at PvP and movement. This is certainly a team that wants to avoid a late build mart, and it's also worth mentioning they will be a scary team in Dodgebolt if they manage to make it there.
On the Orange Ocelots, the Illumina and Martin duo returns, joined by Sniffrish and Elena EXE. Illumina got first individual last Pride event, dominating survival games along the way, and while that may not happen again, if you could lead Orange throughout the PvP games, Orange could actually be a team to watch out for.
And on Team Yak and Yellow, we have a group of 4 players proudly showing their pride flags, with Gay Smager, Bi Gemini Tay, Ace Shovel, and British Grian. As with any Grian plus People Grian knows well team, Build Mart is an absolute must play, and due to the large amount of game experience between them, games like Grid Runners could also be to their advantage.
I also hate the British. Well, the Lime Llamas have Kratzy, Spifey, Ponk, and Eret, a team that will excel in PvP, and according to ReefyStats.com, BattleBox is the top 5 average games for each of these players, and technically Kratzy's first since Skyblockle is extinct like the dinosaurs. Rip Barney, am I right?
Introducing the Green Team with a star-studded cast of Valkyrie, Tina Kitten, Sykkuno, and Laserbeam. This team of non-Minecraft mains will have to focus on harnessing their skills from other games and applying them in a brand new setting. We could see them doing well at communication games like Build Mart, since good comms are a requirement for doing well in any team game.
The Cyan Coyotes feature V Gumiel, the return of the 5-Up and Tubbo duo, and for the first time since MCC Rising, AMC. This team should aim to play team games late, as 5-Up has proven himself to be an amazing leader, which especially should help AMC considering it's only their second event. And if they get a Build Mart finale, they could be the underdogs to watch out for in this event.
One of the more chaotic teams of this event will be the all-men-loving gang of the Axolotls, featuring newcomer Red Velvet, returning player Gizzy Gazza, and a duo of Antfrost and Tapple, which means this team will do laps in PvP, while still having great firepower for a very good performance.
Ooh, I got a Snapchat notification. Anyway, the Blue Bats. The Blue Bats. What's a Blue Bat? All I see are the Sapphire Simmers, who are here to take part in a stress-free and laid-back non-canon event. Zeus is now an MCC winner as well. Can he use that experience to guide his team? I hope so. Hashtag not lost.
The Purple Pandas have Kara Corvus, Jojo Solos, Captain Puffy, and Nia Chu, forming an all-female team which will be a scary force in games like BattleBox, Build Mart, and Rocket Spleef. If they can avoid Ace Race and to get to the other side late, they should be top competitors in this event.
And finally, the Pig Parrots are one of the most hyped up teams in the event, not only because Sapnap and Rambo are each appearing in their first Pride event, but also because we get to see the introduction of JackSepticEye and Crank gameplays. This team has a lot of potential to be a menace in PvP, with Sapnap and Rambo potentially being the scariest PvP duo this event, and Jack and Fiefin should hopefully be able to hold their own.
And that is every single team. So now we're going to dive straight into a brand new segment, Remix My Remix. Mystery, take it away.
And welcome to our very new segment, Remix My Remix. So obviously, this MCC, there's the opportunity for 4 different remixes to get played. So we thought, why not come up with some more? So what'll happen is we're going to spin our master wheel of the remaining games. Whichever game we get, one of us will basically propose a remix to it, change some of the rules up, make it a brand new game. Then the other host is going to have to take that remix and remix that one. So that way we'll have not only one, but 2 new versions of the same game. How does it sound, Lockie?
That sounds great. Sounds like I'm gonna remix your remix, and you can remix my remix. See what I did there? That was clever. Spin the wheel!
It looks like our first game is going to be Parkour Tag. Alright, so I'll go first on this one. So, what we're going to do, rather than having 10 different hunters on 10 different maps, we're going to have 10 different hunters on one map. What'll happen is everyone will be in the same space, and each hunter will only be able to tag their 3 opposing runners. And how are they going to tell who they are? They're going to have pumpkins on their head. And that pumpkins will not impair the runner's vision, but it'll still just make things way more confusing for everyone. Now, Lockie, what I need you to do here is remix my remix.
Oh man, alright, man, pumpkin tastes good. Sorry, I got distracted. You really threw me off there. How do I remix that? Okay, I like the chaos. I assume we're going to need a big map for a game of parkour tag with everyone on one map. And to take the idea, I'm going to say what we should do is add a little jail in the corner. When you tag your runner, they go to this little jail, and their teammate's job is to try and rescue them from that jail. But obviously, if you tag all 3 of them, they're in the jail, they can't be rescued. And it's pretty much by if you can get all 3 of them in the jail by the end of the round, but before the time runs out. I'm sure I explained that super well, and everyone understands my remix. Alright, let's do our second game. Spin that wheel. Whoa! Look at it spin, Mystery. It's so beautiful. Alright, the next game that we're gonna be remixing is Sands of Time. Whoa! I'm really excited about this. How do we want to remix Sands of Time? Well, I say that one that I've been begging for a while is making Sands of Time underwater. Ooh, I say Sands of Time should be underwater, and you have to collect, you know, how you collect the sand to add to the time? I don't know if it's still sand or maybe it's something else. Sand would still work, sand's underwater. You collect the sand from around the map, right? And then you put it out of the timer, but the timer doesn't just give you time. It extends the more sand you add to the timer, it extends your water breathing so you can survive longer. Alright, Mystery. I hope you understand my concept. Now, remix my remix!
I kind of understand it, but that's fine. I already have an idea. Okay, so, underwater. I love this theme. But, Lockie, a bit of trivia here. What is the one dimension in Minecraft that does not allow water placement?
The ether.
I don't know what to say to that. But there is also the Never. So yeah, basically, you'll essentially just go to a purgatory. You can do things like mine blocks, kill mobs, whatever it is, and you'll get very minimal gold for it. Now, you may be thinking, well, Mystery, that just seems like maybe just have one person do it, just in case. No, here's the bad reason about doing it. If you want to do it, you can either A, sacrifice 5 sand, or B, half of the coins not only you have on you, but that your team has on you. So, the way I see it is it's just a last-ditch, last resort sort of thing. If you're about to die, just go in there. So yeah, that's how I see it.
We're really good at this. Noxcrew should hire us.
True.
Anyway, want to thank you guys. That's going to wrap it up for this segment of Remix My Remix. Hope you enjoyed it, but more importantly, I hope you understand it, because I sure as heck didn't. So now we're going to transfer it over to the next set for another segment of This or That. Ooh. Ow.
Welcome to This or That. Me and Sheep are going to look at this screen, and for each one of the prompts, we're going to decide which option is more likely to happen. So, for our first prompt, will Sapnap or Dream get more kills in the 20v20 Mega Bolts? This is a tough choice. I might give the edge to Dream, just because I think he's going to have built up anger from losing his first ever dodge bolt in the last event.
Well, I disagree. I think it's actually going to be Sapnap. Now, while Dream is incredibly accurate at dodge bolt, when there's 20 people, accuracy isn't that important. And Sapnap, I just have a feeling that Sapnap is just going to go bang, 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 and just not care, and just go wild.
Our next prompt. Will Sykkuno or Valkyrie get a higher individual placement? See, I know barely anything about both of these people, so I don't really have much to go off of. So I'm just going to say they're going to get a perfect tie, that they're going to exactly tie in the amount of coins that they get. Yeah, that's my prediction.
Well, you see, all knowledge in the world comes from Google, and I decided the only way to solve this argument was asking Google to flip a coin, and the coin landed on Valkyrie. And as such, Google never lies, so obviously the correct answer is Valkyrie here. Higher individual. Next one. How many rounds will the Simmers win? Will be more or less than 4.5? I have to say less, unfortunately. The Simmers, while they're good and they probably will win, I don't see them winning that many. They will get some wins, and it will be funny.
See, I feel like if there's any event where the Simmers could get more than half of their Battle Box wins, I feel like this is the event for them to do it. There's a lot of teams that they have the potential to really beat and just outplay. And I think certainly with a properly executed Wool Rush strategy, the Simmers could get it done. Our next prompt, we have another pair of newcomers here. JackSepticEye and Crank Game Plays, aka Ethan. Which one of them will get a higher individual placement? See, again, I don't know that much about either of these two creators, so I'm gonna go off of which one of them has a cooler name. And the name Jack reminds me of Jack Notsouls, so I think I'm gonna pick JackSepticEye for this one.
I'm gonna agree with you, Matt, just because he's a gamer. Like, he's such a gamer. How can a gamer not win? And now that's about it for This or That. Now we'll move on to our individual predictions over at the main desk.
Welcome back to the main desk. Time for our individual predictions. So I've put Sapnap in my number 1 position just because of how dominant he's been recently and also just his insane competitive energy. Dream has a lot of the same energy too, which is why I put him in second. Illumina's also been performing really well recently, and it seems right to give him a top 3 position. My dark horse player is Critic Zeus, since after having personally witnessed some of his training arc, I am confident that he can lead his team into the top 8.
In third place, I got Sapnap. Yes, he had his lowest Season 2 placement last event, but that placement was still 9th. He's still a Season 2 S tier, and he's on one of the best teams this event, so I think he can get top 3. But barely edging him out is going to be Dream. Senna has been more consistent this season, as Dream has dropped from the top 10 twice, but Dream got first last event, and his first ever dodgeball loss should be a good motivation for him to try and do even better this time. And in first, I have Illumina. Illumina got first at MCC Pride 21 and won that event. However, he has gone 0-3 in dodgeball since then. I think he's going to be very motivated to win another Pride event and get first, so I've got him in first. And for my dark horse, I have Captain Puffy. Similar to Illumina, Captain Puffy has a good history in Pride. In MCC 6, she won her first event. In MCC P21, she was the highest placing player on her team. And I feel like she's just going to vibe with the team that she's on this event, especially with Joji being on that team. I think this is her event to shine in.
I feel like the top 10 and the top 3 in general will be decided by who are the strong players rather than who's on the good teams. Which is why we have Illumina, Dream, and Sapnap. We have Sapnap as my first place pick due to really good recent performances. For Dark Horse, I'm going with Grian. Saying Grian, haha, Grian good, used to be a meme until it kept on happening, to the point where now Grian is actually quite a strong player. On top of that, a solid team, and with the remixes, I feel like having a good experience in Minecraft and being well knowledgeable is going to be a major benefit.
I like what Sheep was doing there by just picking the strong players to be in the top 3 and not people who are on strong teams. So that's what I've done. I've picked the 3 strongest players to round out my top 3. So in third, I have GeorgeNotFound because, you know, he's strong. Okay, look, I'm not gonna lie. I don't really have like a real reason. I just really like George. In second, I have JoJo Solos, who I was correct about last MCC, placing top 3, and she even held first for a majority of the event. So those of you who doubted me in MCC event chat should apologize to me because I am always based and you are wrong. And in first, I have my dark horse player, which is no surprise to anyone when I say it's Laser Beam. My king will finish Ace Race this time. I believe it. He has to, right? Welcome everyone to Convince Lockie. We now have a brand new set and it looks pretty snazzy to fit my snazzy personality. Today we have 3 people lined up on the stage ready to present me with their cases and takes about MCC Pride, and I will decide who of them is the closest to being correct considering I know the future. You know that so Raven? It's based on me. Anyway, first up we have Steinbulf, our returning winner from last segment of Convince Lockie. What will you be trying to convince me of today?
You know, last time I tried to convince you of Dream. Today, I'm going to try to convince you of someone even more powerful winning MCC. I'm talking about the magic man himself, Sapnap. Sapnap simply wins without fail. Even when he loses, we all know that he won in spirit. In addition to that, Ranboo has been going back and forth, joining Wilbur and Captain Sparkles in their third place curses, and I think he will do whatever it takes to finally get that sweet taste of victory. And Ethan and Jack provide that intangible force of having high clout. And as we all know, clout gives you automatic plot armor in any event. Overall, with their immense will to win and their copious amounts of clout, I don't see a way this team can be stopped.
Oh, that was a very interesting argument, you know? You really know how to strike for me because, you know, I love clout. I love a bit of clout. Let's be honest. I'm hungry for this stuff. Interesting take. Okay, so I'm just writing here, looking over my notes of what you've said. Ranboo getting third, the curse, do you think he's gonna break it? I think it would kind of be funny if he continues to get third. Because Captain Sparkles won, that's over. So we need to find someone new to keep laughing at for getting third. And you were right, Sapnap is really powerful and is a proven winner. You really just, you had me and then you lost me and then you had me again. It's a difficult sort of concept, you know? So I'm gonna have to think it over. And in the meantime, let's move it on to Mystery for his argument.
Alright, so during MCC 22 pre-show, I argued that Team Jack was gonna win. Not only did I lose the segment, but Jack did not win. So this time, we're coming back with our next team. The orange Ocelots, what I like to call Michael. And you know what that's short for? Michael Jordan. Because they're going to run it back. Run it back from what, you ask? Last Pride event. Now let's break this down. No, they did not play in the last Pride event. But since each of them have joined MCC, they've had decent performances with their first team getting a win. I think they can do well this time. But here's where the run it back part comes in the Little Wood and Illumina. When In the Little Wood was in MCC Pride 21, his team did amazing, barely got second, he performed amazing individually, and then they made it to Dodgebolt, where they narrowly lost to the Aqua Axolotls, which had Illumina. Illumina got first individual, his first individual performance ever, even if it was non-canon. He had a dominant event, his team would have gotten the point record had, the event been canon, and then like I said, they, by basically a tick, won MCC P21. I think this is one of the best teams in the event skill-wise. I think they're ready to run it back. I think they can do it.
Okay, so you're trying to convince me of Orange. It's a very interesting take. Orange does have history on their side. Let's think about it, because Illumina won the last Pride event. But as someone who is currently studying history at university, it sucks, alright? It is nothing like Night at the Museum, alright? I'll tell you that much for sure, okay? I wish. You mentioned Team Michael for Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, obviously, is my favorite actor, as we all loved him from the 1996 beloved classic Space Jam. But that's the thing, unless they have Looney Tunes on their team, I can't see them coming out on top. But again, I'm just gonna have to think it over, compare it with Stein's argument, and wait to see what Sheep has to say. But thank you for your time. Sheep, what have you got for me?
At the end of the day, we need to decide what we're doing. Are we predicting, or are we predicting? Now, there's a big difference here, because even though we can talk about how we feel like this team is good in this, it's just have the sense that we're going to have a pretty boring, pretty standard. Which is why I feel like Red's actually got this. Dream is quite strong, and his team isn't weak either. Dream is good at dodgeball, so they only have to come second. But just in case you really don't believe me, how about this? In my scenario, where Red comes second and wins Dodgebolt, Laser Beam comes first individual. Does that convince you?
Oh, wow, man. I'm not gonna lie, alright? I heard what you had to say. At first, you were talking about, is it predicting or is it predicting? And I was like, well, it's neither. The segment's called Convince Lockie, not Predict Lockie. And that doesn't matter anyway. Smager already predicted me, and, well, he got that figured out. But you did mention that in your timeline, Laser Beam gets first. And, well, that just put you in a whole new light, my friend. And now, I've got a very difficult decision ahead of me. So I want to thank you all for your time, for your arguments, and I will be back to you in just a moment when I decide who has convinced me. So, Stein, let's start with you. Sapnap is powerful. You are right. I will never doubt that, okay? But the thing is, him winning is just... it's too predictable. It's too common, alright? Where's the fun in that? This is going to be a fun event, alright? And I'm excited for it. But I'm not excited for the idea of Sapnap winning yet another event. But I am excited to see Jack and Ethan. Unfortunately, Tommy's not going to be there because it would be cool, but that's not the point. The point is, you did not do enough today to convince me. I'm sorry, Stein. Sheep. Sheep. Bah, my friend. Bah. Unfortunately, you didn't do quite enough to convince me. I thought, maybe the laser beam comment at the end might have done enough for you, but he's going to get first anyway, so I don't need you to put that in there to sprinkle it on top to help your case, alright? I can see Red doing well. I'm sorry. You're just too all over the place, too flustery, like a flippity-floppy fish. Sorry, Sheep. You did not convince me. Mystery. I believe Illumina does have history on his side, and as much as history isn't like Night at the Museum, I want it to be, and I like Night at the Museum. So for you, Mystery, I only have one thing to say. Or two things, technically. It's one sentence. That's how English works. You did convince me. Congratulations!
Hey.
Well, thanks for watching the pre-show. I'm no longer undefeated in Convince Lockie, but hopefully I can make a comeback next time. So, we'll see you in the next pre-show, and we'll see you for MCC.